Welcome to the Laser Therapy Institute weekly podcast, the world's first podcast about medical laser therapy for healthcare providers. Each week we discuss the latest research, interviews with experts, and how laser therapy can enhance your practice. Now here is the founder of LTI and your host, Dr. Jason Roundtree.
Welcome back to the Laser Therapy Institute weekly podcast. My name is Dr. Jason Roundtree, and I'll be your host again today, but I'm joined by a couple of our LTI folks here. We've got Christy, who's in charge of our program development.
Hello.
And we've got Jay, who's our client relations manager.
Hello again.
So we're going to be talking about what's coming up with LTI's programs this year. You know, last week we talked about a brand new free tool set that we published for laser therapy success in your practice. If you didn't get that yet, definitely follow the link from last week's podcast. We'll throw a link in the show notes from this week too to make sure you can get that downloaded. Absolutely free tool set to make sure you're going to be successful in your use of laser therapy in practice. The week before that, we talked about kind of our 2020 year in review and all the new things we've added, but I wanted to give everybody a little bit of a sneak peek at what we're going to be developing in this coming year, and this stuff is super exciting. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about is really one of the core foundational benefits that LTI produces and gives its members, and those are the custom laser settings that we built. This month we are releasing 8 custom settings to our members that are very, very advanced, very special, should make a big difference in how they can help patients in their practice. And we've got more coming, right?
We sure do. We've got another neuropathy setting to add to the neuropathy protocol. And then we've got more coming down. We've got a 3-part series to add for plantar fasciitis, and that'll come out in March. And then we've got more coming out in April and May, and even more to come.
Yeah, the custom settings that we build are ones that we prove in practice before we send those out to the field for everybody to start using. So we're in the testing phases for those right now, but the testing is looking extremely good. And so to be able to provide our members with more capability to address neuropathy and plantar fasciitis. You know, plantar fasciitis can be a really, really difficult condition to resolve. And so this series of treatments we're going to publish here, hopefully in March, should really help our members address plantar fasciitis quickly and effectively. Another thing we do here at LTI is try and produce resources that we know our members need. And so, like I said, last week we published a tool set for how to be successful with laser therapy in your practice. But Jay is currently working on a brand new product that's really going to help another very common concern we run into, and that is getting patients to buy into laser therapy.
Yeah, for sure. The next resource we're going to be putting out soon is an ebook, and it's going to talk through the talking points that patients want to know whenever they're going to be learning about laser therapy and how it can benefit them. So healthcare providers who provide laser therapy in their clinic, in their practice, they can go ahead and refer to this as they address these talking points with the patients, making sure the patients know what to expect and how long to expect it, and everything they need to do in the whole process of getting treated with laser therapy. So hopefully we'll be able to get that out here in the next couple weeks, and it will be a great resource, and we hope to keep providing on a very frequent basis the resources that healthcare providers who provide laser therapy can use to benefit them as they relate the information to their patients, because as long as the healthcare providers are confident in laser therapy, the patients will be confident in it too.
Yeah, real common question that we get is, how do I sell laser therapy to my patients? And sell is such a crude word. I think nobody really wants to be selling things. We want to be recommending effective therapies. And if you don't have that confidence, it's a lot harder to communicate to the patient what those needs are and to get them to really buy into the treatment plan that you're presenting. So this ebook that Jay's working on, that we're all working on actually, will be totally free to download and will help you get that presentation of the care plan down so that you can focus more on getting that patient better and less on sales techniques.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not really a sales technique if it's just basing it on research information. If it's just talking about, hey, this is the research, it supports this is what happens, and you're just educating the patient at that point. You're not necessarily having to sell anything to them. You're just letting them know a benefit that this medical treatment modality can give them.
Laser Therapy Institute is committed to helping its member clinics grow as well, and part of growing a laser clinic is helping the other healthcare providers around you understand a little bit about what you do and how it works. So a product that we're putting together for our members to be able to access later this year is a batch of form letters that are designed to be sent out to your local oncology, neurology, and family practice healthcare centers so that you can highlight what you do with laser therapy, the safety, the efficacy, and key cases that could be successful. We all get into medicine to help patients, and that your local neurologist is frustrated by not being able to offer a better solution for people suffering with neuropathy, and similar instances for family practice and oncology as well. So these letters will be a really good, concise way to communicate with these other providers what you can do with laser in your practice. You'll be able to customize them for your clinic with your information, and then be able to send those out and make contact with those healthcare providers. And then another one that we're going to give you is what we call a case notes format document, and that is a way to communicate with your patient's primary care provider or the doctors that refer them in to you, so that you can give updates to that referring doctor to keep them up on the patient's progress. One of the things that it's easy to fall down on, I think, in practice is that inter-doctor communication, so that you can make sure that the docs that are giving you referrals know how well their patients are responding without taking a ton of your time to do that. So I think you'll really be able to get some good use out of these case notes format documents that we're going to make sure we can push out there. I'm aiming for spring, summertime on a lot of those. If we can keep on track here, that's where we should be landing with some of those. The really great thing about these particular form letters and these case notes formats too is that you can designate a staff member in your clinic to easily put these together in a quick fashion so that you can get this information condensed, sent out without taking up your entire weekend trying to stay up on paperwork.
Yeah, everything we do with Laser Therapy Institute needs to be able to be implemented easily, and that we really try to make that easy for our members to get the resources like the forms to mail out to the neurologists, able to be implemented easily. And a lot of the courses in development we have follow that same concept of streamlining the clinic success, so that as a clinic owner and clinician, you don't have to do everything. Then we can train others in your clinic to help support that load.
Yeah, if you've got a ton of stuff already on your plate as a clinic owner, the last thing you want is to have to spend 4 hours training each individual staff member. That's why we've utilized the online courses that we have so far, because you can go ahead and just turn your staff loose on those courses. They can go through them, they can get the knowledge they need, and they can immediately put it into action.
Right, and some of the courses that we have in development right now are around advanced laser safety, courses for case managing, billing, scribing, documentation, even marketing. And then we have another course that's coming in for the neuropathy program.
Yeah, the clinical training on neuropathy, so how to evaluate that new patient, set up a care plan, and make sure that they're progressing through it successfully. That's a big piece. And these courses are really, really great. Christy has designed some amazing courses that are interactive, that use multiple formats to present the material without all the fluff. So you can quickly power through, get the information you need, and then move on to implementing it in practice. And something else we're trying to work towards this year is getting CE accreditation for these courses. Because if you can go through these courses and then have that count for your state's continuing education credits, that'll be just one more thing we can help you get done to streamline the operations at your clinic and your personal responsibilities.
And another resource that will hopefully streamline your clinic success is the resources page we have available on our website that is continuously being updated. We update our website constantly, and with those updates, we add new resource information that you can refer to. And Dr. Roundtree's research articles that he has and reviews on this podcast with you, he posts to our resources page. And with that, you can go in and get the original source content by referring to that page that we are continuously updating for your information knowledge base.
Another way we would like to help our members and really everyone expand laser therapy knowledge is by hosting some webinars. We've been talking about doing this for a bit. We did, I think, 1 or 2 last year. Would like to do some quarterly webinars this year, and that'll be open to anyone and everyone, but we'll be talking about things like how laser works, working on issues like low back pain or neuropathy and traumatic brain injury, so that we can pass on more information about what we know through the research about how laser can be used, so that you can continue to develop your knowledge base on using laser in practice. 2020 was a really strange year. I think it probably upset a lot of people's plans. We were able to continue to grow our content for sure, but I know that personally, like, our marketing plan has been disrupted. Marketing, I think, for anything on the clinical side has changed just in the last 9 months. You know, we're no longer doing in-person events to help bring in new patients. So one of the ways we would like to help our member clinics get that better outreach is by starting to send out weekly templates for blog posts. Blog posts are a great way to drive more interest to your website, and from there be able to capture that interest and turn it into a new patient lead. And by using our blog post format, you can customize it, change it up according to how your clinic operates, put your information in there and post it. It'll really cut down on the time and the creativity you need to put into maintaining an active blog page. And also email marketing. Email marketing to especially an existing patient base has become much, much more important over 2020, and I think it's going to continue to be pretty important through 2021. So we're also going to send you weekly emails that are focused on using laser therapy for certain conditions, and you can turn those templates we're going to send you into emails that you can then send out every week to your patients to maintain that contact and be able to continue to drive interest even when patients maybe have dropped out of care.
This is a lot of information that we've talked about here, and this isn't meant to overwhelm you. This is just tools to help you, and it's going to come, in pieces, some weekly, some monthly, but over the course of this year.
Yeah, we've got big goals. I think we're going to be able to hit our goals, and it is a lot of new tools. The great thing, though, is all these courses are accessible to our members at any time. They're mobile friendly. They can be pulled up wherever you are to work on this when you have time. And some of these new pieces like the blog post templates and the emails, this stuff will be archived so that if you don't get to it this week or you're not ready to start a blog until maybe next September, that's totally fine. You're not going to lose out on anything. It'll be there for you, archived, ready to use, and just introduced new, kept fresh every week.
A lot of information, all of it is going to be easy to use. That's our goal for 2021, to get as much as we can about laser therapy, to expand your knowledge, and for it to be able to be implemented easily. So we're excited to share it and anxious to begin 2021 with you.
Right, we are. And we've mentioned a few things in this podcast. We'll put links in the show notes. And again, we appreciate you joining us this week, and we'll look forward to next week.
Subscribe now to keep learning about the growing field of laser therapy. Check out our patient-focused podcast, Healing at the Speed of Light, a great resource for your patients. For massive practice growth and improved patient outcomes, become a certified Laser Therapy Institute clinic. Learn how at lasertherapyinstitute.org.